Listen, and when she loses a genuinely good man, the pain she feels isn't what you think at Island. It's not just about missing his text messages. It's not just about sleeping alone. It's not even about wondering if she made the right choice. The real pain she's hiding, it's something so deep, so devastating that she'll never admit it out loud. Not to her friends, not to her family, sometimes not even to herself. But I'm about to reveal exactly what that feeling Island. And when you understand this, you'll see female psychology in a way that changes everything you thought you knew about women and relationships. Because here's what most people don't realize. When a woman loses a truly good man, she doesn't just lose him. She loses something far more important. And by the end of this video, you'll know the one truth that explains why some women become completely different people after losing the right guy. So if you've ever wondered why she seems fine on social media, but her closest friends say she's falling apart behind closed doors, stick around, because what I'm about to share will blow your mind. The brutal truth. Picture this. Sarah, 28, marketing executive, beautiful, successful, independent, the kind of woman who has her life together on paper. She had Jake for 2 years, a guy who remembered her coffee order, who texted good morning every single day, why she's not missing you at all, who actually listened when she talked about her day. A man who opened doors and meant it. When Jake moved across the country for his dream job, they tried to make it work. But long distance is brutal. So they ended it. Mutual decision, no drama, clean break. Sarah did what society expects her to do. She put on a brave face, told everyone she was totally fine, updated her Instagram bio to something empowering about knowing her worth. Within a month, she was back on dating apps. But her is what happened next. And this reveals the hidden truth about what women really feel when they lose a good man. Every guy who came after Jake got measured against him. Every single one. New guy takes 3 hours to text back. Jake responded in minutes. New guy splits the dinner bill. Jake always insisted on paying. New guy forgets she doesn't like mushrooms. Jake remembered everything. And here's the thing that'll shock you. She started sabotaging potentially good relationships, finding flaws that weren't there, creating problems to justify leaving. Because the real pain she's hiding isn't about missing Jake. It's about what losing Jake did to her belief system. And when I tell you what that is, everything will make sense what she's really feeling. Here's the truth most people never talk about. When a woman loses a genuinely good man, she doesn't just lose a relationship. She loses her faith in her own judgment. Think about it. If she couldn't make it, work with someone who treated her right, what does that say about her ability to choose partners? If she let the best thing in her life walk away, what does that say about her worth? This creates what psychologists call cognitive dissonance. Part of her brain is screaming, you just lost the love of your life. The other part is desperately trying to justify why it had to end. So she rewrites history. He was too nice. He didn't challenge me enough. We wanted different things. But deep down in those 3 a.m. moments when she's alone with her thoughts, she knows the truth. The identity crisis. Nobody talks about knows she might have just lost her person. And the terrifying part, she has no idea if she'll ever find someone who will love her that purely again. Because here's what happens in her mind. That relationship becomes the gold standard. Not just for how she should be treated, but for who she was with him, with Jay. She was the woman who deserved morning texts. With Jake, she was worth fighting for. With Jake, she was lovable. Without him, she starts questioning if that version of herself even exists anymore. And that's when the real destruction begins, the comparison trap. Now, here's where it gets brutal. Every man who comes after him lives in his shadow, and they can feel it. She's not comparing them to an ex. She's comparing them to the standard of treatment she knows she deserves, but isn't sure she can get again. New guy doesn't open her car door. Strike 1. New guy doesn't remember she's lactose intolerant. Strike 2. New guy takes a day to respond to her text. He's out. But here's the twisted part. The guys who do match that standard. She pushes them away too. Why? Because if she gets attached and loses another good one, she might not survive it emotionally. So she creates chaos. She finds excuses to leave before they can. leave her. She convinces herself that being alone is safer than risking that level of heartbreak again. She'd rather be alone than be abandoned by another man who actually mattered. And every time she does this, she confirms her worst fear, that she's incapable of keeping a good man, that there was something special about that first relationship that can't be recreated. The pattern becomes self-fulfilling. She pushes away the good ones because she's terrified of losing them. She settles for the mediocre ones because they feel safe. They can't hurt her the way losing a good man can. But the real kicker, the thing that destroys her from the inside, the identity crisis, she starts believing the lie that she's fundamentally unlovable, that the good relationship was a fluke, that lightning doesn't strike twice. See, when you lose someone who saw the best in you, you start questioning if that best version of yourself was real. Was she only lovable with him? Can she be that version of herself with someone else? Or was it just him? This is the identity crisis no one talks about. She doesn't just miss his presence. She, the comparison trap that ruins. Everything misses who she was when she was with him, the confident woman who knew she was worth pursuing, the woman who expected to be treated well because she'd experienced what good treatment felt like. Without him, she starts operating from scarcity instead of abundance. She accepts less because she doesn't believe she deserves the best. She settles for lukewarm love because she's convinced that passionate, devoted love was a one-time thing. And the saddest part, she stops believing that good men exist. Because if they do exist and she had one and lost him, what does that say about her? This is the real pain she hides, not that she misses him, but that losing him broke her faith in love itself. Before we go deeper, hit that like button if this is hitting something real, because what I'm about to tell you next changes everything. The mindset shift. Here's the truth that flips everything. The pain she's really hiding isn't about losing him. It's about losing hope. When a woman finds a genuinely good man and it still doesn't work out, it shatters her fundamental belief that if I just find the right person, everything will be perfect. She's not mourning the loss of him. She's mourning the loss of the fairy tale. The loss of believing that good guys exist and that she's capable of keeping one. The loss of faith that love actually conquers all. But here's what she doesn't realize, and this is the mindset shift that changes everything. That relationship didn't fail because she wasn't enough. It didn't fail because good love doesn't exist. It failed because two people can be absolutely perfect for each other at the wrong time, in the wrong circumstances, with the wrong priorities. Timing matters more than compatibility. Sometimes geography matters more than chemistry sometimes. Life goals matter, the mindset shift that changes everything, more than love sometimes. And that's not a reflection of her worth. It's just reality. Here's what I want every woman watching this to understand. Losing a good man doesn't mean you'll never find good love again. It means you now have a reference point for what good love looks like. You know what you deserve. You know what real care feels like. You know the standard. That's not a curse. That's a superpower. And for the men watching this, if you're with a woman who's been through this, understand that her guard isn't about you. It's about protecting herself from that level of devastation again. Your job isn't to compete with her past. It's to create a new standard for her future. Be patient with her walls. They weren't built to keep you out. They were built to keep the pain from happening again. Look, if this resonated with you, you're not alone. Whether you're a woman who's been through this or a man trying to understand the woman in your life, these feelings are valid. The capacity to love deeply enough that losing someone changes you isn't weakness. It's proof that you're capable of the kind of love most people spend their whole lives searching for. Here's what I want you to do. Drop a comment with the word hope. If you believe that losing a good person doesn't mean good love is over for you, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Sometimes knowing that someone understands can be the beginning of healing. Hit that like button if this opened your eyes to how to make her regret losing you, something new about relationships and human psychology. And subscribe, because we're building a community of people who aren't afraid to dive deep into the real stuff that matters. Next week, I'm revealing the signs that show someone is ready for love again after heartbreak. And trust me, they're not what you'd expect. Your capacity for deep love is your greatest strength, not your weakness. The pain you feel when you lose someone good proves you're capable of recognizing and appreciating real love when you have it. And that's exactly the kind of person who deserves to find it again. If this helped you see something differently, drop that comment with hope, and let's build a community of people who believe that the best love might still be ahead of us. Hit subscribe for more content like this. And remember, your past doesn't define your future. It just prepared you to recognize the real thing when it shows up